What's up, everybody? N.Divine83. Today we're going to be looking at the Dread RDA. The Dread RDA by Damn Vape. The Dread RDA is a stovetop RDA, an RDA made just for stovetops. In this video, I'm going to be showing off the RDA. I'm going to show different builds I could put in there. There's a little build tutorial in this video of a coil that was a stovetop. That was my favorite stovetop to vape ever. I put that build tutorial in here. We're going to try it out to see if it vapes good inside of here. And I'm going to show you how to build it, show you how to wick it, tell you how it vapes at the end. This is the first stovetop RDA in my memory. Alright, stovetops normally don't vape that great. They're more just for looks. So yeah, why do you build stovetops if they don't vape that great? It's for looks. It's really just for looks. For them big wires that you make that won't wrap up in a traditional macro kind of wrap, you make a stovetop out of it. You could fit stovetops in many different RDAs, but there was no RDA that was actually made just for stovetops. If there was one, would it vape good? That's what we're going to find out in this video. So this is a pretty cool RDA. I hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. Alright, so the Dread RDA comes in this zipper up case. It says Damn Vape on here. Pretty different. It comes with some instructions, and it also comes with, aside from the RDA, it comes with this coiling tool which is made for stovetops. You can make your stovetops with this tool. And we'll take a look at that. I'm not sure what was in here. If anything, it might have been wire. I'm not sure. Alright, so the directions will tell you how to wick this thing, how to build it, wick it, all that, and then it will tell you how to use the coiling tool in a bunch of different languages. That and the Dread BF, so this is a bottom feed RDA. I don't even think it comes with a different option. I think it's only squonk. Alright, so let's take a look. We'll get to the coiling tool in a second. So I really like the drip tip. What I do not like about the drip tip is that metal piece comes off of there. You'll see. So if I take the drip tip off, which it is an 810 drip tip, this metal piece is just free to come off. Alright. So it does have airflow on each side, and it does have a single coil option. You would twist this top to close the airflow or open it. Alright, so one side is open, one side is not. And then you turn it some more, and both sides open. I like this aspect because stovetops are usually better as a single coil. So I do like the single coil option. Here's the bottom. It says Dread, serial number, designed by Damn Vape, and it has the squonk pin already installed. Alright, and it's got a pretty cool design. I mean, you don't see, I like the letters on here. It's engraved. It's not laser etched, it's engraved. Alright. And I do like this design because it's different. I like seeing different things. Alright. This is fairly easy to spin, especially with juice on there. It's a little tight now, but that's just because I got it out of the ultrasonic cleaner. Alright. It has 2 O-rings here. Alright, and this is the deck. Now this is 24 millimeters around. It's like 24 is the biggest end, I believe. Alright, and the deck is right here. So, it does have a fairly deep juice well for where the wick goes in. That's pretty deep there. And the squonking comes out of the side of the post. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but down here is a hole. That's where the squonking comes out of. This is the positive post. The negative is milled into the deck. There are 2 screws on each side for the negative, depending on if you wrap it left or wrap it right. It just depends how you wrap it. You have a hole for each. I really like that. Alright, these screws are pretty smooth. This is the Twisted Messes Allen key size, which is a really good Allen key size. I always say the Twisted Messes size because it used to be just the normal size for RDAs, and they started making different sizes. I like this size because it's not too small, not too big. All of the screws are the same size. Smooth. Now the post does have threading at the bottom there as well. So these screws are pretty tight to the bottom. Now this post may look crazy, but for a stovetop, you want something behind your stovetop for the cotton to press up against. It's kind of the same aspect as the profile RDA where they had a spring pushing up the cotton to the mesh. You kind of need that for stovetops too. Something behind the cotton to push it against the coil. You can't just have it collapsing on you and stuff like that. So it does say dam vape here. Nothing on this side. So 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 2 screws here. But you'll only be using 1 screw down here per coil. Alright. Let's look at the coiling tool real quick. Alright, so this is the coiling tool. And it's got these numbers here. Alright. And I'm not sure why it has 4 different numbers, but this is going to tell you how many rotations you made. Alright, this is called the lolly tool. So you would pop this open. It's got a pin in the middle just to create the stovetop effect. It's got 2 holes. Now I know that 24 fits in there, and I'm pretty positive 22 fits in there. So I do have this is 24 gauge right here that I straightened out already for this video. So what you would do is you would take this 24 and you would stick it into one of these holes. So that fits in there pretty loosely. So let me try this hole. Does the 24 fit into this hole? Maybe if I had the straight end. The 24 fits into the small hole. Alright, cool. And then what you would do is you would take it over here, bend it down. Alright, so now it's at the 1, right? And you would line this groove up on this piece and put the wire inside. Alright. And then what you would do is you would make a rotation, doesn't matter which way. Now you do want to press down hard on this end to that, or it's going to overlap itself. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it. And I hit the 1. So I don't know how many wraps that would be. Let's go around twice. Now I'm pressing down hard. I think I'm at the 4 now. Alright, so we did 2 full rotations. Let's see what it looks like with 2 full rotations. It pretty much looks like 2 wraps. Okay, cool. Let's do another rotation. It recommends in the booklet 4 to 6 wraps. Alright. So there's another wrap there. And then we would do another wrap there. So that would be 4 wraps. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. And then we would pull this out like that. And we would have our stovetop coil. Alright. And it would be fairly easy to install. Now I'm going to install different coils into here, but you would basically cut your lead down to what you need it. Alright, so it would probably be somewhere around like that.
Drop your straight lead in there. Inside the one that's open. I'm going to open up this hole here. I can just twist it around and push it down. I'm going to cut that lead too far. I'm not positive, but yeah, I cut that lead too short, so that would be too short of a lead. Okay, so I do have a piece of 22 gauge here. Here's a piece of 22 gauge, alright?
I'm going to put the 22 gauge inside of the bigger hole.
And I'm going to bend it down now. And that's going to be my center post, that one. Alright? The one that goes into there is the one for the center post. And I'm going to push down. Let me see what number I'm at. Alright, I'm going to start at 1. There's 1 rotation. Pushing it tight down. There's 2 rotations. There's 3 rotations. And 4 rotations. There you go. We can take that out now.
Now this lead on the first coil was too short. So I'm just going to see what would be a little longer.
Let's see if that would work. That looks like it would probably be about right.
This negative lead's a little long. And that's how that would go in, just like that. Then you would cut your lead from behind, and that's how you would install your stovetop. Alright. Now, I did, just to see how it would look, or see if it would work, I did make a Clapton coil here. This Clapton coil is 2438. And I wanted to see if this would fit in the bigger hole. And I kind of did already try this off camera. It does. 2438 fits. It almost looks like 2436 would fit too. And you would be able to take this as well and wrap that as well. Now it did kind of bang up my Clapton a little bit there, but it was worth a try. Alright, let's see if this will fit any other kind of stovetops in here. Seeing I'm a coil builder, I like my stovetop coils a little more beefy than just round wire. So we're going to check it out. We're also going to try my favorite stovetop that I've ever made to vape. And that will be the last coil we put in here. So let's see other builds that would fit in here. Alright, out of all the stovetops that I got ready for this video, this was probably the smallest out of all of the intricate ones. This is a braided 2-core, so it's 34 gauge is the braid and 2-core 24, and it fits in there just fine. You could see that I actually have the 24 that goes into the negative is actually naked going into there, but it would definitely fit, and you're going to see that with the next coils. This is a 2-core 34 gauge on the outside, and these coils are pretty easy for me to put in. They're not taking longer than 2 minutes. This is one of my favorite stovetops to build. Just a big old mohawk wrapped like a stovetop. It's got a really cool look. This is one of the biggest stovetops I ever made. Now, the top cap would not fit with this one on there. This one is more just for looks anyway. This is zipper wire made in an Enigma wrapped in a stovetop. I did this live one day. It's just a crazy coil. It's humongous. This wire is huge. But this is one of them wires that you couldn't just wrap up in coil form. It's just too big of a wire, but that's why stovetops are fun, because where it wouldn't work in other coil forms, it will work in a stovetop. And this RDA, it was very easy to install in this RDA. Pretty cool. I grabbed a couple just blemished coils just to show you with just a little bit of creativity you could do vertical coils in this RDA, as well as just basic macro coils wrapped regularly. Just thought that was pretty cool, wanted to show that. Alright, this one would need some heat to look really good, but I think you get the gist of it. The next one I'm going to show, I have a little build tutorial to show you. It's going to be, it has been my favorite stovetop that I ever vaped. I usually don't like vaping stovetops, but this next one is one that I really liked when I did vape it, and it was one of my favorite looking stovetops too. So here's a quick little tutorial, and then I'll come back with it installed and we will wick it up and vape it, see how it works in this thing. Alright, so the 3 wires that I'm going to need to make this stovetop are a 22-32 gauge Clapton. So this is 32 gauge on 22 gauge. And I'm also going to need a 3-core Alien, 3 pieces of 28 in 36. And then this is just a piece of 26 gauge up here. Alright, so first I'm going to take my 22-32 gauge Clapton and I'm going to decore it. I'm going to leave the 22 gauge to the side because I'm going to need that soon. And I'm going to take the 32 gauge decore. I'm going to grab the 26 gauge decore and put it inside of the 32 gauge until it reaches all the way at the end. I'm going to wrap both together at this end. I'm going to grab this end with the needle noses and I'm just going to stretch the 32 just a little bit over the 26. Just to make a slight opening, slight gap. Nothing too much, just a little bit. Then I'm going to take that 22 gauge again. And I'm going to put these 2 wires next to each other. I'm going to grab them with the needle noses, both of them, very tightly. I'm going to get another pair of needle noses and twist them together. Making sure they're together and I can put them in a drill. I'm going to come down to this end and I'm going to cut these the same length. Now I'm going to insert these 2 into the drill. After I have both these wires in the drill, I'm going to twist them together. I'm going to need to hold them down at this end with my needle noses, right there. Make sure they're both tight and neither is looping. Grab them both down here. Make sure that the core is inside of the clapton after you've stretched it. The clapton may be over the core. Now I'm going to twist these two wires together. I don't have to twist it to the max, I just have to twist it to the desired twist I want. Now that that part of the build is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 28 gauge alien and I'm going to helix it up the small part. So where the 22 is, I'm going to cover that 22 with the alien wire. Alright, I have my twisted wire in the drill. I also have it attached to a swivel down here. And I also have the 28 gauge inside of the drill. I'm going to take some needle noses. And now I'm just going to helix this alien in the 22 gauge gap. That should be enough for a single coil stovetop. This is what I ended up with. Alright, the chamber's too small, the cap's too thick. It's just vaping coils like this and this is just not going to work. The screw design, I'm not having fun with at all with coils like this. Listen, I know it's not supposed to have coils like this necessarily. You're supposed to just do round wire, but I mean, stovetops are attractive to coil builders, and if a coil builder can't play with his own wires in there, it's not going to be attractive no more. This is the coil I built in the tutorial, and I don't want to destroy it anymore. Maybe another day I'll put it into something else, but this is just not going to vape on here. I'm going to get this all set up with coils that they would like me to vape in here, and we'll wick it up then and try it out. We're going to go back to this coil. I think this one will work well. The top cap fits. It's still a fairly big coil. I don't want to vape round wire. I don't like round wire in macro version. Why would I like it in stovetop? I'm telling you, I won't like it. So I'd rather try this single coil stovetop. That's how you want a stovetop to glow. You want it glowing from the middle of the wire, the middle of the whole wire out. You don't want it glowing from the middle, like the positive out. That would be bad. Just like a regular coil, if a coil is 4 inches long, you want it glowing in the middle at that 2-inch mark and out, right? So you want it glowing from the middle of the wire and out, not from the post and out, from the middle of the wire and out. All right. Alright, I wicked one side already. I got dual 22 gauge stainless steel, 5 wraps using their coil tool. I tried another coil, I'm sure you've seen that. It wasn't going to work out. So I just have a nice little chunk of cotton here. And what it basically tells you to do is kind of get it in there like that. And it should touch the whole back of the coil there. Like that. And then just loop it right down into the dish where the squonk will bring it up. Kind of just loop it back there.
Alright. If there's any spaces there, it doesn't have to throw more cotton.
And we're gonna wet these up and see how it squonks, see how it vapes. The cotton I'm using needs a little bit of a break in. Let me wet both of these coils and the cotton behind it. Give it a little bit of heat. That should suck it right in. It seems as though with a little bit of moisture, my cotton is already sagging down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little more at the top here across both coils. Just got another nice little slither here. It's a lot like the Profile or any other mesh RDA where it's gonna use up a lot of cotton to get this thing right. I don't want to get any more dry hits than I did with the other coil, so I want to make sure that this thing is nice and wicked up. You don't want any in the front. It's going to mess with the airflow. So now I got some over the top here. Alright, let's see how it vapes. I'm going to put some more juice on this and we'll see how it vapes. I'm squonking it now. Looks like it's getting pretty juicy on the wick, I could tell you that. Alright. Alright, the Dread RDA. So 5 wraps around their tool with 22 gauge stainless steel dual coil came out to a 0.12. I have both airflows all the way open. It's on this squonking device, 4.2 volts. It's just a magnetic squonk. That's what it sounds like. Spit back. There was spit back, but there was also a lot of good flavor. Second hit. That was the third hit. I took a hit before the camera. Second hit already feels like crap. It already tastes burnt. I just squonked it. Let's see. Lots of spit back right now. So much spit back. A lot of good flavor, but also a lot of spit back, especially that initial hit. The nicotine right now is incredible. Very strong. I don't know if that's because of the spit back. I mean, I got some saturated coils here now. That's what stovetops look like when they fire too. And I could already see the wicks collapsing again. Stovetops just aren't my favorite. A lot of flavor on there. It's like the first hit's a lot of spit back, and then you get a lot of flavor after that. You're going to have to keep them saturated. That wick's going to keep collapsing. It's just going to keep collapsing with the heat, the wetness. It's going to keep collapsing. Stovetops have nothing to keep it up. So this RDA, it's fun to play with. There's things with this RDA that when you use a bigger stovetop, when you install the coils that they put in there, it works fine. The screws are a little funny. Sometimes it pushes the wire up. That's not a big deal. When you put them bigger coils in there, it is a big deal. It was damn near impossible to put in that last coil I was trying to vape on. The screw just kept pushing the leads up, kept pushing the leads up. Now, this isn't made for that. What I'm saying is, stovetops are more for coil builders. Who's going to build a stovetop? They'd rather just wrap it around a bit, put it in. Everybody knows that. They're going to go to it. It works better. It's more efficient to just wrap it around a bit. Coil builders are going to like this. So why not cater to the coil builders by making the post holes a little bigger, making it a little easier to install them big coils, and making it a little bigger. That chamber is so compact that it's hitting, the top cap's hitting the coils. Even the other coil I put in that I wanted to vape, it just hit it. I was getting a burnt hit. This RDA is cool, like a little novelty thing. If you're a builder, you may like this. To put your big coils in. To install them big coils, it worked pretty good for the most part. To take pictures with, it's going to work pretty good for the most part. You ain't going to be able to vape them. It's just not going to work. This almost needs to be that round wire if you want to vape it. I take it more as a novelty kind of thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Aliens game, if I was an alien sent down to Grim Green's house to steal his vape gear, I imagine I don't know, maybe he does have one of these. I wouldn't grab it. I wouldn't. Even being a coil builder, there's other RDAs that you can install stovetops in that are better than this. Saying that, I like the deck design. I like the holes in the bottom with the post in the back. I think that's a very cool deck design that can be used for regular coils as well. I really like the design. I'm glad somebody made this. Do I think it could be better in ways? Yes. But I'm glad somebody made it. I think it's a cool fucking RDA to make. For somebody to just put this out there. It's a weird thing. But I do like that. I do like that about it. I mean, try new things. Stuff like that. I like stuff like that. I got to give a shout out to Bobby. Bobby, thank you very much for letting me borrow this to do this review on. I enjoyed doing it. It was fun to play with. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.